Hi everyone, so I just went over my case feeder for the Lee app. So if you've watched that, you're going to get a little bit of a repeat information here. But to start off with, we're going to be setting up a bullet feeder and a case feeder here on an XL750. It's basically the exact same for a 650. I'm sure all you guys know that. Today we're going to be basically going over a small pistol and a 6.5 Creedmoor conversion. I won't do the full conversion on the press because that's just too long, but more or less I'll just kind of go over the conversions of a bullet and case feeder, and we'll set up small pistol first. So I'll kind of go over the ins and outs of the case feeders like I kind of did with the on that Lee app video. So this is my case feeder design. They're going to come in blue, black, and red. They have a mechanical shutoff switch, this graded funnel, so you can see into this funnel and seeing if anything funky's happening. They have a forward and reverse, which is really handy because if you don't get this drop adjuster set right and you're running too fast, a piece of rifle brass can go in there and jam it. I'll show you the conversion kit plates, but they all have clutches in them. So you'll start to hear that clutch run. And if that happens, you can just flip this to off and then into reverse, and it'll let that piece of rifle brass go, and it'll just most of the time fall down the tube, which is a really nice feature. Another thing that I did was it really extend this funnel up and almost make it flush with the top of the case feed bowl, because I don't know if anybody's ever had this happen, but if you're running with a Dillon case feeder, the mechanical switch is down here, the funnel's up here, and there's this big gap between the bowl and the actual funnel. And if you get a jam in there, what'll happen is this case feeder doesn't stop running because there's nothing to run the mechanical switch, so it just starts raining brass everywhere. And this way it'll keep all that brass kind of up and tight, and it'll either kind of fill up this tube in here, this funnel area, and that plate will keep spinning, or it'll just end up jamming and the clutch system will take over. In either case, you can go ahead and shut it off. And when that happens, something that I was always really frustrated with the Dillons was it was really hard to unjam stuff. You had to either use a wire or kind of get in there with your hands, and because you couldn't get the funnel apart very easy. So I made this funnel detachable. You can take it off with these 4 bolts here, and it just pops right off the top, and you can empty that jam and put it right back on. Yeah, really, that's about it. Just your variable speed still. This dimensionally is all the same as a Dillon case feeder in terms of the mounting options, so you can just drop it right onto your press and not need anything. It still attaches with this set screw back here. Oh yeah. So I have a hole here, which is really nice. Let me grab a conversion kit. I think, what's this one in here? That's large rifle. Where'd the small pistol one go? So here's my small pistol one. They all look like, yeah, that is small pistol. So they all look like this in terms of the pistols. So they're high feed plates. They're all come standard like that. This plate will do 38 special, 357, 9mm, no adjustment. The clutch system, tighten as needed. All just fits on that hex drive. So let's go ahead and drop that in here so I can kind of show you. This is my personal one, so sorry, it's kind of dirty. So you just set it down there on that hub, and then so when you want to go pop it out, so you're not sitting here trying to get a hold of that hub, you can just stick your finger through and pop it right out. Yeah, so we'll just leave that in there, honestly, for now. And to get that to stick, you just spin that around and it'll lock on that hub. Okay, so there's that. Let's go ahead and set it up. It really is this easy. So this all comes with your 750, as I'm sure we all know. Just set that up on your feed pole. Snap your tube in. Make sure you're pretty straight. I mean, you don't want this all cattywampus. It's not super sensitive, but yeah, there you go. Just like that, and it's completely set up. That's all you have to do. It'll come with a power supply and an extension. These extensions are really nice just because then you're not having like dangling power supplies and stuff. So just a barrel jack connector. You'll plug it into this barrel jack, and I usually end up kind of winding mine around these poles just to make them nice and kind of leave them hang off the back of the press there for the power supply. So I only have one power supply over here, so we won't be able to run the bullet feeder and the case feeder at the same time, but that's okay because I'm not going to be doing any sort of reloading demonstration, I guess, actually making bullets, so I don't get taken down by YouTube. So this will just be the setup of them. So now that that's set up, we can jump right into our bullet feeder setup. Okay, so here's our bullet feeder. I kind of moved this over so we could see a little bit better. In this kit, I have the 750 mount. Your switch, I definitely updated this switch. It's a lot better of a mechanical switch, a lot less adjustment, really sensitive, just works. That's a big update. Other than that, there really haven't been any major changes with these bullet feeders. Since my last video, I've changed some stuff, but in terms of what I've been selling, guys are probably pretty used to seeing this in the ad. But this is just the hinged bullet feeder. It's got a really nice little line here. This is an exact 45 degrees, so when it's on the pole, you always know where home is. You can go ahead and watch all those other tuning videos that go over why you hinge and how to hinge and really what you need to be doing there. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to be at this 45 degrees. All this is toolless adjustment, all thumb screws and knobs and all that stuff. I mean, I really am a big fan of that toolless stuff. I really hate having to track down tools on my bench because they just seem to get lost everywhere. And you just spend more time looking for tools than you actually do reloading. Same type of style is the case feeder, is just this variable speed knob. And then all this will come pre-assembled just like this, and all your wires are crimped. So that's basically the case feeder. 750 mount. Your spring has couplers. I'll kind of go over some setups on that. Like if your spring ever comes undone, it just screws into this coupler. And so when you kind of get up here to the top, you definitely don't want your spring protruding out of the bottom of that coupler like that. You just want it to be nice and flush. Just about like that. You can see where that spring rides in the threads of that, and that's all you need. You get your power supply, an extension. No, I don't have one here, but you will get an extension just like the case feeder did. So if you order a pistol caliber, you'll definitely get your conversion kit. And then you'll get your corresponding nose guide. These nose guides are different. P for pistol, R for rifle. They're a little bit different. So all the rifles will get a rifle and all the Ps will get a pistol. If you order multiple pistol kits, you'll only get one nose guide. It'll do all of them. So you also, with each conversion kit, you will get these spacers. This is a spacer for double alpha bullet feed dies, and this is a spacer for Lee bullet feed dies. They're a nice snug fit, so you might have to tap them down onto the top of your dies, but they won't come off. So that's what you'll do there. You'll get a set of these for each caliber conversion kit you order, just so you have the complete and ultimate freedom of what die you want and what die you order, what die you might already have, and those types of things. I think that's really about it. And yeah, and then you'll get your feed pole. All you need for assembly is you will need a deep 7/16 quarter-inch socket just to adjust over here on your case feed pole. And I'll get you guys kind of positioned over here so we can start transferring into setup. Get you guys at a nice angle here so you can see everything. Okay. So let's go ahead and get after it. I know since the last video I found my spacer again. I knew it'd show up, but so you just go ahead and pop this spacer off. Most of the time I can just hold that nut on the backside with my fingers. You don't need 2 wrenches, and you can just unscrew this top case feed pole bolt that comes with your Dillon. You're gonna lose this. Put it somewhere safe so you don't lose it, and then one day if you ever want to take your bullet feeder off and put it on a different press, and then you're like, oh well, I don't know where my spacer is, like I did. Keep it safe. So then you're just going to take your 750 mount. You're going to drop this big bolt back through, just like so. You're going to run it right back through that same hole. And on that back side, you're going to put your nut on. I'm going to try to do this opposite kind of handed of my dominant hand so I don't get in the way of the camera. I'm trying to get better at this whole filming thing so it makes more sense to guys. Okay, there we go. Threads are started. All right. So now here's where your deep 7/16 socket comes in. So you can actually get in there and reach that bolt. So you don't need this stuff crazy tight, just tight enough. Like it's really, this stuff doesn't really go anywhere. All of these thumb screws back here and all this stuff, they're all nylon lock screws. So nothing will ever come undone. All right, ready to put the pull in. So go ahead and just set your pull in there. and screw your thumb screw down. You don't need to go super crazy tight on it, just enough that that pole's not wobbling around and it's nice and snug. Even though I can still grab this and turn it around, this pole's okay. And then we're just going to go ahead and set our bullet feeder right on top of that pole, just like so. And for now, we can leave it kind of loose and wobbling around there so we can get everything set up. So now we're going to take our spring. Let's see if I can get you guys moved up a little higher here. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to take our spring, and you just screw that coupler onto the bottom of your bullet feeder, just like that. Nice and tight there. So let's go ahead and drop in our small pistol plate. It just sits up on that hub. I know it's kind of hard for you guys to see just because you're so low. Let me raise you up for a second and see if I can't get you there. You still can't. We'll just keep this view for now, though. But yeah, it just locks on that hex hub, just like the case feeder does. And then you'll take your corresponding nose guide. So I have my pistol. I'll slide it into the dovetail, and you take your nose guide knob and screw and spring, and you're gonna slide that guy through here, through the spring, and then let it start catching the threads, and then adjust as needed for flippage, which you can find in all my other videos of all those small pistol tuning, rifle tuning. All the rifle tuning's honestly the same. That's why I haven't released any of like the specific rifle calibers like the 7mm and 6.5 and 30 cal rifle, is because that small rifle tuning video covers all of those. You tune them all the exact same way. So I already have my white Lee spacer on here, so I'm not going to show you how to do that, but more or less you just slide it onto that, and if you need to, you can use a small hammer and you can tap it on here. It's okay. They're a little bit of a press fit, but see, you don't want it coming off. That's just annoying. You want it to stay on your die the whole time. And then so your switch will then clamp on top of that insert. So let's go ahead setting this up now. So here's my corresponding small rifle switch. So this is my personal one, so it's got a little bit of wear on it. Sorry, guys. But you just screw this insert onto the coupler. Never screw the coupler onto the insert because like you got to think of this spring like a thread, right? So as you would screw this onto the insert, you would be unscrewing it from the spring. So you want to kind of make sure your coupler is all nice and set, and then you take your insert, always insert onto the coupler, like so. Okay. Now, let me grab my little Allen wrench screwdriver so we can set the switch up. Okay, so this is keyed, right? I don't know if you guys can see that. This is keyed. There's a 3-way key on it, so it can only go into that switch body one way, and that's so this slot can ride over that mechanical switch in there. All right, so you get it in there, you know you're good to go. So you can go ahead and tighten your top one, and you don't really have to crank this stuff down. It's just a nut in here, but like just that little bit, like I didn't even tighten it that much, and you can't get that back out. So then we're going to go ahead and you just set that down onto your feed die. Looks like I'm missing my bottom bolt. I don't know where that is, but you tighten your bottom bolt. And then you're going to take your 2 terminals, your wires, and you're going to hook them onto this top terminal right here. Right? And you're going to hook them onto the bottom terminal right here. That would be normally closed. Yes, normally closed. I have that right. So your switch is closed, causing the current to run. And then obviously it's open when that mechanical switch actuates because you have bullets in this feed die body. So yeah, really that's it for the pistol conversion, and you're all set up and ready to run. And then of course you'd go ahead and tune your bullet feeder that I never tightened down here. We'll go ahead and tighten that down just like that. Go ahead and tune your bullet feeder according to the other videos. I don't even think I have power over here to turn it on for you guys and kind of show you the actuation. Maybe I do. Let's go ahead and throw some in. Oh yeah, I do, right here. Look at that, look at that. I got power. Okay. Just like that. So then you're gonna turn that guy on. I don't know how this looks up top here. Ooh, we're a little too far in, but we'll get enough in there. It'll actuate the switch. See, and then it actuates the switch, and then just like that, it'll run that switch, and you can just sit here and load away. Really. So to change calibers, obviously we're going to shut our feeder off. We are going to empty the switch body out, because if you don't, you'll pull this switch right off this inline feed die, and you're going to have bullets everywhere. Been there, done it. So we're going to pull that off. We are going to loosen both screws, only one of which is here, both screws, remove the insert. You're going to unscrew the insert. And then we are going to run our bullet feeder dry. There we go. Last one. Okay, and then we're going to shut it off. We're going to remove the pistol caliber nose guide. Slide it out. Here's another one of my products that I don't have on the page, but really handy. This bullet tray, awesome. Holds all your bullets. It's got a little like catch-all. It holds your Allen wrenches, and even has some slots for the buttons if you need them. But I am constantly using that thing. I love it. Once again, I'm biased, but I really do make all of this stuff for myself. I don't make this stuff to sell. Everything I've put up for sale, I made for myself because I had a reason to make it and I want it to work. That's why I really stand behind a lot of my stuff. Not a lot of my stuff, but all of my stuff. I really care, and I want guys to like them, and I want them to work for guys. So as I drop everything around, that's the pistol. So now we're going to go to rifle conversion kit. And so just like the pistol, spring in between the nose guide, catch the threads, adjust the thumb screw as needed per the video. We're going to pull our small pistol plate out. We are going to put our color-coded caliber conversion kit of a 6.5 Creedmoor plate in, spin it so it sits down on that hub. We are going to take our color-coded insert, screw it onto the corresponding, or onto the coupler, and then to get these tool heads out, loosen your set screw for a second, turn that bullet feeder sideways, pull your screws, pull this guy out. Let me grab my Dillon tool head, or not my Dillon tool head, my Creedmoor tool head. What am I saying? It's all Dillon. Throw my Creedmoor tool head in there. And just for sake, I made sure I got my double alpha so you can see it works on both. Then just in reverse order, keyed, swing this guy back over, in you go. Tighten your two coupler springs. Maybe I got that guy a little far over. There we go. And then he's gonna sit on there and stop just where he goes. And then yeah, you're ready to run again, just like that. It's all the longer that takes for a caliber conversion kit. I don't even know if I have some Creedmoor bullets to throw in there, but yeah, that's all it takes for a full-blown caliber conversion kit. And obviously you'll have to go through your whole Dillon caliber conversion kit, but that's all it takes for the bullet feeder. Oh, and then up here for your caliber conversion kit for your case feeder, you'll just, once again, Oh gosh, I'm a little short here. Let me grab my step stool. You'll utilize this hole, pull that hole, feeder out, case plate out, and you'll throw your corresponding feed plate in to the case feeder and get that to sit on that hub. Sometimes you can't really see, so you got to move it around a little bit. There you go. There you hear it go on, and as needed, adjust your slider there. And that's all the more it is. Yeah, thanks guys.